Good day to all. Today we are going to cover the topic Dust of Snow, that is poem 1 of Unit 1, First Flight. How do you feel when a black cat crosses your way? We feel bad because we consider it as a bad omen. In our society, it is considered to be not very auspicious. Similarly, in some societies, a crow, the bird crow, is considered to be an inauspicious or as an ill omen because of its black color. Also because a crow is a scavenger, it feeds on dead body. Besides that, some trees, such as a hemlock tree, Hemlock, hemlock tree is also considered to be a bad omen. This poem, Dust of Snow, is written by Robert Frost, who did not have a very pleasant life. His father died of TB, his mother died of cancer, his sister died in a mental hospital, and even his wife died out of heart failure. So basically, the time in which he was writing this poem, he was in depression. He was not facing a pleasant life, and as he's passing through a landscape, a winter landscape, he came across a tree and then he's standing under that tree. So one thing to note down is that the background of the poem is a winter landscape. Second, the poet is already depressed out of his life. Third, he's standing under a hemlock tree, which is not considered to be a good luck. The action of the poem tells us that there is a crow, and the movement of the crow on that hemlock tree, because of that moment, the snowflakes or the dust of snow is shed and it falls on the head of the poet. Now this little act of nature, what little act? The dust of snow falling on the head of the poet, it entirely changes his mood and he starts feeling better. I'm reading out the 4 lines of the poem. The way a crow shook down on me the dust of snow from a hemlock tree. The way this crow is shaking down on me, who is me? Me is the poet. The dust of snow. The dust means small particles of snow. From which tree? From hemlock tree. These are the 4 lines. The rhyme scheme here is A, B, A, B. The next 4 lines says, has given my heart a change of mood and saved some part of a day I had rued. Has given my heart a change of mood. How did the mood change? The mood changed from depression to happiness, from sorrow to joy. He revived some hope. He was having some positivity in mind after having that snow, witnessing the whole scene, and saved some part of the day I had rued. I had rued my day. Rued means it was a sorry day for me, but my day is saved. The poet says, this crow, this act of nature, this dust of snow has saved my day, saved me, because it has revived some ray of hope in me, some positivity in me. So what is the message of the poem? The message of the poem is we should not believe in ill lucks. Nothing is ill luck. All is in our mind. It depends on our perception. Some things may be good for others, may be bad for you, or vice versa. The other message that the poem is giving us is that always look forward to nature, because nature is a constant source of inspiration. You should not be disheartened by little things. Rather, you should look on to the nature, derive that inspiration, and have a positive bent of mind. Some questions related to the poem are: what is the name of the poem? Dust of Snow. Name of the poet? Robert Frost. Rhyme scheme? AB, AB. Which bird and which tree are referred here? Crow and hemlock tree. What is the nature of these 2 things? They are considered to be ill omens. Hemlock tree because of its poisonous leaves, crow because of its scavenger nature and black color. Finally, what is the message of the poem? I am repeating again that one should not go into depression by, you should have a positive mindset. Thank you. That's all for this session. Cover the second part of the poem 1 of First Flight. The name of the poem is Fire and Ice, written by the same poet, Robert Frost. The first line of the poem says, "Some say the world will end in fire, some say in ice." The world will end. When we hear the words "the world will end," it brings to our mind the picture that the world is ending. There are incidents which have happened in history, and according to the scientists also, the world is going to end. Even now, the virus that is existent around us makes us feel sometimes that the world is going to end, or it is a doomsday. Doomsday means the day when the world is going to be ended. Now, the poet says fire and ice, as the title suggests. He gives us two schools of thoughts. Either the world will end in fire or in ice. According to the scientists, according to the literal meaning, the fire denotes global warming, and we all know that the problem of global warming is increasing day by day. The problem of global warming may create earthquakes or erupting volcanoes, which may be creating havoc for us, and very soon the earth may be destroyed due to these things. On the other hand, fire also denotes the fiery emotions. The fiery emotions here means violence, anger, lust, obsession, cruelty, and brutality, which are also existent nowadays. So the symbol of fire does not only denote a literal meaning, it also means all these fiery emotions of violence, anger, lust, greed, cruelty, and brutality, or obsession. Some say the world will end in fire. Well, some say in ice. The other school of thought says that the world can even end due to ice. We have seen how ice age was there, which was also a cause of destruction of dinosaurs and all the living creatures of that era. So even ice is quite a possible cause that would be ending up the earth. Now, like fire was a symbol of some fiery emotions, ice is also a symbol of some emotions such as hate. You say cold hearted. Cold hearted means indifferent, one who does not have any sympathy for the others, one who is self centered or selfish, jealous, hate. So all these emotions are symbolized by ice. Fiery emotions are different. Icy emotions are hatred, indifference, jealousy, apathy, self centered approach, or insensitivity towards others. So he says, some say an ice, some say that maybe the earth will end due to ice or such emotions. Then the next two lines says, "For what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire." For what I have tasted of desire. Who is I? I is the poet. I have tasted means I have experienced. What has he experienced? He has experienced desire. Desire is and the meaning of desire here means obsession, which is a fiery emotion. The poet says that according to me, according to what I have tasted, according to what I have experienced, the fiery emotions are more dominant in comparison to the ice. That means I favor fire. I favor fire, he says, that for me, if you ask me, I'll be of the opinion that the world will end due to fire. That closes the first four lines. The rhyme scheme of these first four lines are A, B, A, A. Fire, ice, desire, and fire. A, B, A, and A. Coming to the next five lines. The last five lines of this poem, it says, "But if it had to perish twice, I think I know enough of hate to say that for destruction ice is also great and would suffice." Explanation, but if it had to perish twice, it refers to the earth here. If it has to perish, the meaning of perish means to die. If the earth has to die two times, twice, then I think I know enough of hate. I also know that people hate each other so much that also may be a cause of destruction of earth. And hate is a symbol of ice. So the poet says that if the ice gets two opportunities to kill itself or to perish, then the first opportunity will be given to the fire, but the second to the ice, because the colder emotions are also available in plenty. To say that for destruction, ice is also great. Why not ice? Ice may be the second option, but it is still sufficient cause. It would suffice. Suffice means sufficient. Ice is also sufficient to destroy the earth. Both the emotions are extremes. Both the emotions are bad. Fire as well as ice equally may be a cause of destruction. And here fire and ice do not only literally mean fire and ice. Both the extreme kind of emotions are bad enough. And what is the message of the poem? The message is, it is a warning. It is a warning to humans to control their extreme emotions, to control their negative emotions. Otherwise, the destruction of earth is obviously going to happen, and we have to avoid it. In case we have to avoid it, we have to avoid the extreme emotions of violence, anger, lust, greed, cruelty, the fiery, as well as the hatred, indifference, jealousy, apathy, self-centered approach, and insensitivity, the ice emotions. Asking you some of the questions from this poem. World will die either in dash or in dash. Answers are ice or fire. What is the meaning of desire? The meaning of desire is obsession. Who is I in the lines? The I is the poet or Robert Frost. What does Robert Frost favor in the first paragraph? He favors fire. For him, fire is more dominant. Our fiery emotions are more dominant. Do you think he agrees to the fact that ice is also enough to destruct earth? Answer is yes. He says that if the earth has to perish twice, then ice is also a sufficient cause. Thank you. That's all for this session. We'll meet in the next session now.